When the work hours are done and it's time to relax, we all look for different ways to put pleasure into our free hours. Doing hobbies are one of those. But sometimes hobbies have a way of developing into something bigger. Hello, I'm Scott Foster, and welcome to Rain Country. This rocker and this cabinet have a decorative paint finish that's been added. This painting style was begun as a home project by a Juneau resident. But as his painting skills began to improve, he wondered if this hobby might turn out to be a profitable business venture. For others wondering the same thing about their skills, there's a low-risk, low-investment way to find out each year here in Juneau.
This started in 1983. It was the summer, July of '83, and it was one of the first events that happened in the brand new Centennial Hall. And I'd always been impressed with the public market in Seattle, and so that was really the genesis of the idea. The vendors vary from computer salesmen to native artists who sell beaded moccasins, so it's a real gamut. This year, about 25% came from out of Juneau, a couple from out of state, several from Anchorage, several from Fairbanks, and quite a few from around Southeast. You just have to be decisive. I think that's one of the key factors in organizing anything. And I've organized quite a number of concerts, rock concerts, blues concerts, that sort of thing. But it's basically the same skills involved in both. You have to promote it. I get probably over 1,000 phone calls in 2 months regarding this event. The public market is an event that people look forward to, and I think it's part of the fun of being in Juneau, too. I know the kids and my nieces and nephews in my family are always looking forward to it. Of course, I put them to work. Teeny, this is Ben Johnson. He's worked for me before. Now, the main thing is be courteous, smile, say Merry Christmas. I don't want you guys to be persistent about making sure that people have their tickets. You guys are the best boys. The average cost is around $150, so that's for the 3 days, and we aren't taking a percentage of their profits or anything. So for most vendors, it's a real lucrative venture, and there aren't too many who fail, but I think it's a low-cost way of finding out that your goods don't sell, and a lot of people have done that. I'd say on the other side of that coin, there's also a lot of people in this town in Juneau who have started businesses based on the success they found in the public market.
Made in Alaska.
And you make all this stuff yourself?
I used to, but now I have seamstresses who sew for me. I make a lot of the prototypes and do the design. And then we work things out, and they are made in Alaska by Alaskans, though.
You sell them at a store, you come around and like this all?
I do it this way, and I'm starting to wholesale 2 stores.
What are they exactly?
The stores are these. This is basically a parka system. It's originally a traditional native style that's been put into 20th century materials. For example, if I were to use my parka, you start out with a parka shell just like this. And then depending on what your needs are, you put a liner in it and a ruff. And they're all geared for liners and ruffs. So they're very versatile.
My name is Ruth Halaki.
Ruth Halaki.
My daughters, Marge Bondi and Kathy Pope. And they work right along with me. And whatever you see here, it's all handmade, and most of these are our own ideas.
This here is a sealskin wallet. It's lined with velvet and moose hide. The baby booties are made out of moose hide and sealskin and otter. It's really soft.
Do you have a regular job when you do this?
Yes.
Do you work for the state or?
No, I work for Gold Belt.
Oh, I see.
Yes, I'm a communications coordinator for Gold Belt.
My sister and
I started going to the glacier when we first moved to Alaska about 16 years ago, and we've always done masks. And we just were at the glacier one day looking at it, and we sort of looked down at this really fine. The particles of the silt are so fine that we just used it as a scrub for our skin, instead of soap, and we liked it, and we sort of jokingly called it glacial facial. And it's a cosmetic clay mask that is made from the tidal estuary clay, which is basically silt. And I take the clay out of the river in Gustavus with a shovel, and my husband and I clean it and filter it and then bake it to make sure the impurities are all out. And then I blend it with my secret ingredients, which are aloe vera and sweet almond oil, and then sort of some Alaskan ingredients. I have seaweed extract and rosehip extract and pine needle oil. And what it does, you put it on your skin and you let it dry, and then you rinse it off, and your skin looks years younger.
You're 65 years old, right?
I'm 55 tomorrow.
I paint furniture, mirrors, generally anything that'll take paint. I'll attempt to put a painted finish on it. My business is called Brush Fire, and right now it's just a part-time business, but I hope to be able to turn it into full-time. The market's a good place to get a feel for what the people of Juneau are looking for. It's kind of a thermometer to gauge what'll sell and what won't. And last year was my first market, and I got a pretty good idea of what people were looking for. And I found out what they didn't want, because I didn't make too many sales last year. But I hope this year things improve a little bit, and I'm able to generate some interest and make a few more sales.
Well, I've been sewing since I was a little kid, but this is my second year at the public market, and it's just fun. I noticed that most of the women really react to my bunnies, and most of the men are really drawn to my clowns. I mean, they seem to really they just come and stare at them, and they just nudge their wife and look at these, I work for the Department of Education as a statistician, stat tech. Just work with numbers. So this is that's all hardcore numbers, and this is more the creative side.